if you're going off to college, you'll need a laptop that can handle your school workload. Depending on your program, the best laptop for students may be a simple Chromebook, an ultra-portable Windows laptop or MacBook, or a powerful mobile workstation. Preferably, you want a portable, well-built device with enough battery life to get you through the day. As you'll be working a lot on the laptop, you should also look for a device with features contributing to a good user experience, like a sharp and bright display, a comfortable keyboard, and a responsive touchpad. It's also important to consider the port selection if you use multiple peripherals or external displays. To help you find the right model, we've listed the top 5 best students' laptops and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you choose the best one for you. And as always, you can check pricing for any of these products in the description below. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. Number 5. Apple MacBook Pro 14. The best laptop for college we tested is the Apple MacBook Pro 14 2023, a newer version of the M1 Apple MacBook Pro 14 2021. Like its predecessor, this is a premium model with a sleek, compact design, sturdy build, and all-day battery life. You can spec it with an M2 Pro or Max SoX system on chip, both of which can handle nearly every type of workload, making it an excellent choice for students in fields like graphic design, architecture, or engineering. In addition to incredible performance, this laptop provides a fantastic user experience with a sharp mini LED display, comfortable keyboard, and gigantic, easy-to-use haptic touchpad. If screen real estate is more important than portability, you could get the larger Apple MacBook Pro 16 2023. It's essentially the same device, but has slightly better sounding speakers and longer battery life. The only downside is its higher price. The Dell XPS 15 2023 is also a great choice if you prefer or need Windows. Like the MacBook Pro, it's a premium model that provides a great user experience. You can configure it with up to an Intel 13th Gen Core, i9 13900H CPU, and NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 discrete GPU, giving you plenty of processing power for intensive tasks. You can also play more games than on a MacBook because there's a wider selection of Windows games. Unfortunately, it has a bad 720p webcam and fewer ports, and the keyboard gets hot under load. Number 4. Lenovo Yoga 7i. If you want something less expensive than the Apple MacBook Air 13 2022, but not overly cheap, check out the Lenovo Yoga 7i 16 2023. This 2-in-1 convertible has a large 16-inch display, giving you plenty of room for side-by-side windows, making multitasking easier. While there's an FHD Plus display option, we recommend getting a QHD Plus panel, which looks sharper and gets brighter to combat glare. Don't worry about battery life. Even the QHD Plus model lasts over 12 hours of light use. There's Wi-Fi 6E, a fingerprint sensor and facial recognition camera, and a wide port selection that includes 2 Thunderbolt 4s and an HDMI. Its Intel 13th Gen CPUs can easily handle general productivity tasks. However, don't expect to do anything overly intensive due to thermal throttling. The webcam's video quality is decent. The image looks fairly detailed but has an unnatural tint, and the microphone picks up some background noise. Another mid-range laptop worth mentioning is the Acer Chromebook Spin 714 2022. It's also a 2-in-1 convertible, but it has a smaller 14-inch screen and runs Chrome OS. If you like taking handwritten notes, it supports pen input and comes with a stylus that you can dock into the side of the laptop for transport. Its Intel 12th Gen CPU has more processing than you'd ever need on a Chromebook, but know that Chrome OS is limited in the type of applications you can install, so make sure you can do everything through a Chrome browser or an Android app. Unfortunately, this model is getting hard to find because there's a newer 2023 version, which we haven't tested but expect to perform similarly. The upgrades include faster Intel 13th Gen CPUs and a 1440p webcam. The Lenovo Yoga 7i 16 is great for school use. It feels very well built, and its battery lasts over 12 hours of light use. It has a sharp, bright display, a spacious keyboard, and a large, smooth touchpad. Number 3. Acer Swift 314. The best budget laptop for students we've tested is the Acer Swift 314 2020. Acer Swift models aren't exactly considered budget, but because this is an older model from 2023, the price has decreased considerably, making it a great option for those on a tight budget. It's compact and lightweight, and its battery lasts over 13 hours on a full charge. You get a nice FHD IPS display, a decent keyboard, and a wide port selection that includes 2 USBs, 1 USB-C/Thunderbolt 4, a full-size HDMI, and a headphone jack. Spec-wise, you can get this laptop with an Intel 11th Gen Core i5 or i7 CPU, up to 16 GB of memory, and up to 512 GB of storage. The Intel 11th Gen CPUs are a few years old but are still adequate for general productivity tasks like text processing, web browsing, spreadsheets, and video playback. Our only major complaint is the webcam's video quality. The image looks underexposed and the microphone sounds staticky. The Acer Swift 3 is decent for business use. It's a thin and light laptop that's easy to carry around, with a battery that lasts through a typical 8-hour workday with plenty of charge to spare. Its great port selection includes a full-size HDMI and a USB-C port with Thunderbolt 4 support so that you can connect to an external display for presentations. Its Intel 11th Gen CPU can handle general productivity tasks like text formatting and Excel spreadsheets, and it doesn't throttle much under load. Unfortunately, the keyboard feels tiring to type on for extended periods, and the webcam's video and audio quality are bad. Number 2. Lenovo Chromebook C34015. Our best cheap pick is the Lenovo Chromebook C34015 2020, a 2-in-1 convertible with a 360-degree hinge. You can configure it with an Intel Core i3 or Pentium Gold CPU, which are both powerful enough to provide a smooth experience on Chrome OS. However, you can only get a maximum of 4 GB of memory, which means it may stutter if you have too many applications or Chrome tabs open. Battery life is excellent at around 12 hours of light use, more than enough to get through the day. Of course, as it's a cheap model, there are a few compromises. First, the display doesn't get very bright, is fine for most indoor settings but not well-lit environments or outdoors. Second, keyboard backlighting is only available on models with an Intel Core i3 and 64 GB of storage, Model 81T90002UX. Lastly, OS support. All Chrome OS devices have a limited number of years of OS support. The C340's end of life is June 2025, meaning it has less than 2 years left of software updates. The Lenovo Chromebook C340 is good for school use. The keyboard feels great to type on, and the touchpad is responsive to all movements and gestures even though it's a bit small. Its Intel CPU is powerful enough to handle general productivity tasks like web browsing and text formatting. However, it isn't ideal for demanding workloads, which might disappoint students in more technical fields like 3D animation or engineering. Number 1. Asus ROG Zephyrus G14. If you want a device you can also game on during downtime, get the Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 2022. It has a nice 120Hz QHD display with support for variable refresh rate to reduce screen tearing when gaming. It gets bright enough for use outdoors in broad daylight and has full IP3 coverage, meaning you can use it for your color-critical work. Its AMD Ryzen CPU and dedicated GPU are powerful enough to provide a smooth gaming experience, and they can also handle other demanding tasks, making the laptop suitable for students in technical fields like 3D graphics. The battery lasts around 10 hours of light use, however. If you do more intensive stuff that requires the dedicated GPU, you can expect it to be closer to an hour and a half. The Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 is great for gaming. It has a QHD 120Hz display with a fast response time to deliver a clear image in fast-moving scenes, and it supports VRR to reduce screen tearing. Its AMD CPU and GPU provide a smooth gaming experience in 1080p and 1440p, though you'll have to turn the settings down a bit at 1440p to reach 60 FPS in some games. Unfortunately, it gets hot and loud under load and the GPU throttles slightly.